time for Bet On It, brought to you by Warhorse Sportsbook, the best place in Nebraska. Place your sports bets. Keep your money over here on the right side of the river. Get to the casino in Lincoln or in Omaha to place your bets. And, of course, check out warhorsecasino.com for all the promotions and house rules. DB, I got to revisit something because people who I think generally are smart keep saying stupid things. And
what are you mad about, Ravi?
I'm mad about the Greg McElroy don't score a touchdown here thing. I can't believe that's even a discussion with anyone.
Is this with Adam? Is this social media?
Yes. This is with our friend that DM'd us. And it's like, no, you got to take that knee. They had Penn State had 2 timeouts.
It's fine.
That's dumb. That's not fine. It's dumb.
So I didn't love the Kansas City Philadelphia thing. Don't do that.
Is Drew Aller Patrick Mahomes all of a sudden?
I was about to, don't do that.
That's not the same thing. There's different rules for Patrick Mahomes than for everybody else.
True.
Everybody else.
True.
Yes, if I'm the 49ers in the Super Bowl.
He's a Chiefs fan, so it's in his Rolodex.
Okay, him of all people knows.
But I wouldn't. So all I needed to it's fine. Was there any anxiety in him kicking that kick last night?
Yes.
Okay.
A lot.
Okay. Did McDonough have to kind of hang on to the call to see if it was going to bend back?
Yeah, because it started right at the post.
Yeah. So I mean, anytime that's a thing, you maybe played it too safe. Now it worked out.
Yeah, I don't even know if they played it too safe, but my issue was
if you could score a touchdown and only leave 20 seconds on the
score a touchdown.
Because there would have been I understand I get it.
I don't even understand how this is a conversation.
Don't let it.
I don't. We're aware of college.
Is that what you're banging away on the
Yes.
Okay.
We're aware of college kickers, right?
You're a very intense typer.
Sometimes I get mad. No, actually, that was about one of our other guys, because they went back. Brendan on Twitter went back and listened to the Mick Cronin thing from yesterday.
Yeah,
and he goes, and he brought up a point that I felt was worth answering. He goes, if Dion had said those things, I'd have lost my mind. If Dion had said exactly what Mick Cronin did,
yeah,
and I said, okay, but the source matters, right? It's not that Dion never says anything that I agree with. It's all the other stuff that he says that makes it feel like utter BS when he says the things I agree with, right? He'll pay some lip service to things that I'm like, yeah, in a vacuum, him saying that, I agree with. But it's all the other stuff that I think he's a phony, right? Mick Cronin, if he's talking about offensive efficiency or offensive skill development, probably not going to put a ton of stock into it. I've seen his teams play for a long time. He'd be about the last guy I'd hire for anything offensive. Full stop. But he was talking about energy and effort. I'll listen to him about energy and effort. His body of work speaks for itself on energy and effort. So I'll listen to him on that. Because you have to be able to be elite at teaching energy and effort to play the way he plays and have almost 500 wins at 53 years old. He's only 53 years old. I don't know if you knew that.
No, he told me.
Only 53. Almost 500 wins, DB.
I listened to a lot of narratives on that yesterday. I mean, it was dominating talking heads. And did you hear his yesterday's presser?
Huh.
It wasn't. He didn't. I'm not even gonna want to be right and say he walked it back, but it was a little different.
Yeah,
and
a little clarifying.
And you know what else I think happens?
What's that?
I think it depends on. I think how we took what he said depends on what you do in your day to day. Oh
yeah, my background.
I
greatly informed.
Because as I listen to
and then we talked about it off air. My background greatly informed how I took that information from Mick Cronin.
Yeah,
100%. If you've coached at all, you took it differently, and not that you agree necessarily, but if you've coached at all, you took it differently from somebody that's
which
never
is
coached.
Probably why I could ride with 98% of what he said.
And if you've,
but then I also went into a leadership.
Sure,
I went into a leadership thing too, and I'm like.
Yeah, where I am more so in a position where if I've told you a certain number of times, I'm willing to say something that may just alienate you and we're done, which is where that 2% that you had a problem with, right?
Yeah, because
you don't like doing that.
Yeah, in all honesty, I listened to a coach not vaguely, he was pretty direct.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about lack of perimeter blocking for 7 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And it still took somebody different to come in and actually change that.
And
so when you said, well, if it's not the first time that those guys have heard it, then da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, yeah, but at the end of the day, if it's gone on this long
mm-hmm.
and it's been perpetuated by you, but you tell me that you're good because of what you've accomplished, then there's a disconnect there. I just didn't see any other way to spin that, because once he set himself aside
mm-hmm.
from what else was going on around him, then in essence was like, look at my body of work. It's everybody else. I didn't think that was reading into that. I didn't think I was assuming he said anything he didn't really say.
I don't disagree.
So that falls at that falls at his feet, though.
So I don't disagree.
Just like I would say to Coach Rhule, if you don't like the perimeter blocking and
mm-hmm.
you've talked about it for 7 weeks,
mm-hmm.
that's a you problem.
Mm-hmm.
And now he could have come back and he could have been like, DB, look, man, I'm working on it. I got a guy coming in here that's going to fix this essay, or to go Tim Verdees, fix this stuff. What?
No, but at the same time,
do you know what I mean?
No,
and he did.
I agree. But let's say he didn't bring up Dana, right? And we'll use your example.
Bring in?
Yeah, let's say he doesn't bring in Dana.
Okay.
And he goes, hey, I've been working on this. What if he says to you, hey.
He is in Coach Rhule?
Yeah. What if Coach Rhule says to you, hey, we've been working on this. I've been talking to them. Look at what I've done everywhere else. This is going to be fine. Or this is going to get fixed. Look at what I've done everywhere else. This isn't on me. We got to work on this.
Fantastic. I'm glad that's a very fair, legitimate Ravi-esque type question.
I do it every once in a while.
Okay. What was the question that I asked him sitting at the 50-yard line in our 8-day sit down at Memorial Stadium when I said, hey, if you fancy yourself a lifelong learner,
mm-hmm.
which
he does.
Mm-hmm. He's self-proclaimed. How do you not let what you've already done and you've already accomplished creep in to been there, done that when you're here in Lincoln? That was one of the first things that I asked him, right?
You
can vouch for that.
It was.
To keep comments like that from happening.
But.
Okay.
He has also said.
He is in Coach Rhule.
Coach Rhule has also said, hey, I've done this before. Maybe not in these exact words. I've done this before. I know this works. It just takes a little time. He said something essentially like that.
So I'll help you, even though I don't agree, because I don't want to see you squirm.
Okay.
He said, I've done this before. You guys haven't won in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Let me do my job.
Sure. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And he also said, in a similar vein,
mm-hmm.
he basically said, this is what you get with me.
Yes.
It's a process.
This is what you signed up for when you hired me.
So
as opposed to someone else.
So yes, he did acknowledge those things, but he didn't say what you just said he said.
No, but that was the essence of what I was trying to get.
Right. But what did he do though? See, he owned it to fix it.
But he still learned.
That's on me.
Yesterday,
your guy seemed to cut it off.
Here's the difference that I would make with Cronin.
Okay.
And I said this yesterday, and I still think it's true. Now, was it the best example or the best way of him to say it? Probably not.
I love the fact you will not give in.
Oh, no, I 100% think I'm right here. I can understand the interpretation you have. I really can.
Yeah.
That's just not how I took it.
I love how you passive-aggressively say interpretation. I played the clip over and over and over again, and I'm like, how many things do you think this can mean?
I think it can mean a couple different things. The thing that I think it means is he was using that not to set himself apart, but just an example as why he shouldn't be the hungriest dog in the room.
Okay.
That's all I think he was trying to do.
Look at my career.
I shouldn't be the hungriest one here.
Look at my career.
Unlike the rest of you, I've actually accomplished something. I shouldn't be the hungriest one here.
Yeah.
Hey, who do you think wins tonight? -6, Ohio State.
I'm taking the horns, baby.
You heard it here first. DB loves Texas.
Taking the
Chargers -3 versus the Texans.
Oh, give me the Chargers.
Chargers minus Steelers, Ravens. That number's still 9.5.
I like the Steelers.
Taking the Steelers. All right. Buffalo minus 9.
Oh, give me the Broncos.
Broncos. You like Broncos in the money. Packers, Philly. Philly minus 5.
Give me Philadelphia.
Commanders, Buccaneers minus 3. DB.
Commanders may win.
Commanders straight up.
Could win.
That's Bet on It. Brought to you by Warhorse Sportsbook.